Hello, John Adams here, Republican candidate for the 15th Congressional District of Ohio. I'm here in Washington Courthouse. I want to show you this absolutely beautiful courthouse here. We're going to take a little ride around the city here as I chat. Washington Courthouse is the county seat of Fayette County, Ohio. The county was named for the Marquis de Lafayette, a Frenchman who was commissioned by the Continental Congress as an officer in the American Army during the American Revolution. He wore the uniform of a major general of the Continental Army. Fayette County is another beautiful county in Ohio that is populated by many farmers and ranchers who raise livestock. Turning now to my campaign, one of the problems that our nation faces is what is happening in Washington, D.C. Congress is ranked lower than sewage treatment plants, which actually does something good for communities, unlike Congress. And the plants smell better. Republicans and Democrats are not working together to solve the great issues of our time. Because the Democrats hold the majority in the House and the Senate and control the presidency, they are taking the approach of passing legislation without any Republican input or support. Compromise is a dirty word to the Democrats who are trying to increase their majority and their control of our federal government. They are attempting to pack the Supreme Court with 4 new liberal judges that would rule in favor of liberal progressive causes. The Democrats are trying to get also 2 new states, Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. That would add 4 new Democrat senators, helping them to continue to control the Senate. They want desperately to end the filibuster so that legislation can be passed with a simple majority instead of 60 votes. Kamala Harris is the vice president, and in the case of tie votes in the Senate, she will always cast a vote for the Democrat legislation. The rancor extends through the halls of Congress, where you would think that perfectly sane people would not resort to middle school name-calling on a daily basis. The split between the 2 parties is, in my opinion, similar to what the split was in Congress in the run-up to the Civil War in 1861. Back then, the House had imposed a gag rule forbidding any congressman to raise the question of slavery. Because the issue was not being debated in Congress, that led to the Civil War, or what the South termed the war between the states. Are we entering such a period where the 2 major parties are at each other's throats? I don't know. Here in the campaign for the 15th Congressional District of Ohio, the Democrats will throw a boatload of money to flip the district from Republican to the Democrat column in November. They need a victory that would help stem the losses that they experienced in 2020. So this is a major focus, along with the other open seat in Ohio, the 11th Congressional District in the Cleveland-Akron area, in which Democrat Marcia Fudge resigned. So you can expect whoever the Republican nominee is in August, that person will face a Democrat Party candidate who will do the vetting of the Republican nominee that many of the Republican nominees' endorsers did not take the time to do. Big fail. Excuse me. The Republican nominee will practically need to be an angel or a saint, because if that person has any skeletons in their closet, the Democrats will find that and exploit it. If the nominee is Steve Stiver's endorsed candidate, then the November election will be a referendum on Stivers, who was a do-nothing congressman for 10 years. It's just the more of the same with his endorsed candidate. If the nominee is President Trump's endorsed candidate, who is a novice to politics and has never served the people, the November election will also be a referendum on President Trump. Data that I have researched indicates that those two candidates would lose in November because the independent voters will reject those endorsements. Here's a way to solve that dilemma and retain the seat in the Republican column. Nominate me on August the 3rd. I am a strong conservative with 6 years of public service that I was elected to. I have owned my own business since I was 32 years old. I am a veteran of the United States Air Force, and I am not beholden to any special interest. I'll say that again. I am not beholden to any special interest. Those other candidates will be beholden to those who endorse them and would represent their special interests. Political donors, certainly not you. So, from Washington Courthouse, send John Adams to Washington, D.C. I will speak for you, and I will represent you in Congress. I've been saying this throughout my campaign, and I truly believe this, that our campaign is the beginning of the fight to the death for the soul of our nation. On August the 3rd, I would be honored with your vote. Thank you, and may God